Hey guys, welcome to a special edition of SWAMNation, the official podcast of the SWAMNation fan club. Rafie here, and I'm here with the usual guys.
Hello there.
May the force be with you.
Of course, the force is always with us, Sean. That's why we're here today. And we're
Just
gonna
let
get...
it in. Just let it in.
Let it in. We'll get to that in a moment because, we're actually here because we want to talk about the full-length trailer for The Force Awakens that was dropped just today. But before we get into that, Sean, Sanjiv, what updates have you got for us?
Okay, in terms of updates, we will talk about membership for perhaps the next podcast because there's quite a bit there.
Okay.
We can probably talk about the events that we've had over the past month or so, right? So one of the things that we managed to do, and we were gracious to be hosted by a few different retail stores and chains to help us with our voyage to the awakening, which is what we're calling our lead up to The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
And firstly, we started last month with Razer Seiren,
Yeah.
who actually had their launch events for their new pewter items.
I was there. Yeah.
And Sean was there,
I still have my Yoda.
and I wasn't there. But anyways, we managed to set everything up for them, and we helped to facilitate, got our members on board, and there were lots of people who dressed up as well. And because of all that, we want to give a very special shout out to Razer Seiren for actually hosting us.
Thank you very much, Rosalengo. You guys rock.
Yeah, and what they managed to do as well is to give us a token of appreciation for our efforts. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So this is the
You met
box.
you met with Datin on the Sun.
I met with the son,
Chen, right?
I believe, yes,
Okay.
and also Celeste, who was the person that I was actually
That's the marketing one.
the person that that's right that helped set us up. And
Well, it happened that
So-
Datin was asking us whether we can actually do a trip over to their pewter
Factory?
Factory, yeah.
I think it's something we should really consider in the future, right?
And see how they do manufacture the new
Oh,
wave or the new saga.
that's
you
right,
know?
which is coming very soon. It's actually coming, not as we speak, but they're making it as we speak. It's actually
Okay.
coming in December,
Yeah.
right? So thanks again, Razer Seiren.
We'll have a close up of this. We'll throw up a picture
Oh, yeah.
after this.
That'd be great.
What it looks like.
In addition
It's
to
Han Solo if you can't really make out what it is.
number 3032, he shoots first.
No, he
He
only
always
shoots.
That's right.
There's no
only
such thing
shoots. There is
as
no
Han
yeah,
shooting first.
Yeah,
Han
that's
shoots
right.
and that's it.
Right, until 1997, and then 2004 and 2012, and coming back to the picture of program at hand.
Yeah.
Aside from that, in October we actually had two other major events on October 10th and 11th, respectively. One was Star Wars Reads Day,
Yeah.
and where MPH in New Central, which is Malaysia Publishing House, right? MPH?
They don't call it that anymore.
No longer, right?
Okay,
So
just MPH.
MPH
yeah.
bookstores, right?
Okay.
So they hosted us for our Star Wars Reads Day, and it was a really successful event. Had lots
Thank
of
you,
kids,
MPH.
lots of adults, and quite a bit in book sales as well. So that's always a good thing, promoting reading.
I wasn't there for this one again.
Shout
but,
out to Donald, right?
Yeah, definitely to Donald,
Liana,
Eric,
Eric,
to Pana as well.
yes, and then
All our facilitators.
The other lady. Okay, never mind.
I'm sure all of these
Yeah.
people are really
Yeah.
nice. The ones that Sean remembers and the ones that Sean doesn't remember.
Hey.
I haven't met all of you, but I'm sure you guys really showed Swampfac a very warm welcome. And on behalf of the club,
Yes.
I would like to say
Thank
thank
you very much. Yeah,
Thank you for
great.
that. Yeah.
That's right.
And oh yeah, to add on that, well, being there on that day, being a member of SWAMNation fan club, you bring your card, you get this 2 years membership free. And you can buy and collect points and also get discounts on selected items.
Of which Sean bought 500 ringgit worth of items
Nah,
too, right?
not that much.
Oh, you just spent some.
Yet
vouchers
another
that
thing
you
I
were
missed
given
out
to.
on because I wasn't around. But okay.
You can always use my card.
Yeah.
You can
yeah.
have it.
And then after
You say that now,
Right. So then after that event on the 10th, then we actually had we were actually invited by DBKL, which is
Yeah.
Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur, because they were having a brick festival as part of
Bandatun
the
Rajak. Yeah.
Okay.
KUL Design Fest. And so they graciously offered us a table as well to display our wares, to come do a membership drive. And so we went over and had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did so. And our friends Roger and Roger came and helped, and they set
Yeah,
up
they
their
did.
store as well.
Yeah.
So that was really good.
And their sabers are selling like hotcakes, the
Oh
50
yeah,
bucks one.
yeah, I know, that's right. We borrowed 20 lightsabers from them to use for our lightsaber school along with our partners Fast, Force Awakens stunt team. And then
Yeah.
as soon as we finished the event, everyone, all the kids that were in that lightsaber school event wanted the lightsabers, and so they were all sold off. And that was the end of that.
So you poisoned them, like on
Yes,
purpose.
that's
that
right.
was like a conscious decision on the club's part to poison this.
Yes.
No, not poison. I don't think that's the right word.
No,
More
no.
like
Influence.
positively influence.
That's right.
Motivation.
Yes, the force was within them. It just needed to be let out. Oh wait a minute, that's the wrong order. It's supposed to be let in.
No.
let's
Well, now it's
get
the
there
force
now.
is letting in
Out. It doesn't matter which
yeah,
way, right?
out, in,
Black,
out,
white, brown as well.
Jawa.
Jawa.
Yeah.
Wookiee.
Which actually
Right.
leads us into the main topic of discussion we're going to talk about
Indeed.
today, and that is the new trailer. And as of the recording right now, all three of us obviously have seen the trailer.
Only 22 times.
Wow, it's more like 48.
Right.
48.
I've been
I-
busy. I have a life and work.
You guys may seem to like it, but there's one that I don't understand. Why the Ninja Turtle in the first scene?
I thought it's why wasn't there a Jar Jar in the first scene?
No,
It's not a Ninja
Jaja.
Turtle. Just because somebody in the comment thread put, "Oh, I thought of Donatello," and straight away you've been poisoned to think, "Oh,
No, I
that's
didn't.
Donatello."
Actually, I didn't do any comment. I just saw that the face came out. I said, "Why Ninja Turtle?"
Well, the thing that seems to be getting the most brickbats, if you don't want to call it brickbats, is the fact that Luke is nowhere to be seen in the trailer.
Yeah.
as if
He
that's
was
a
there.
bad thing.
Well, he was there, but his face wasn't shown.
Why do you want to show his face? You can't even see Kylo Ren's face.
But wouldn't it be so cool if that was actually not Luke and it was someone else? Because if you actually see in the trailer as well, and this is from the first trailer, I think you
Yeah.
know his hand comes out and he's like touching R2, right?
Yeah, that's the
he's-
second trailer.
Yeah, and in this trailer they actually had that scene repeated.
But
as
whose
well,
hands got
They
cut off again?
reused the same
reused
shot.
the same shot.
Yeah.
No, but who
exactly.
has actually got their hands cut off again?
There's been 30 years between Return of the Jedi and
Come on,
The Force
it's only
Awakens.
that we know during the movies is either
It
Vader.
could be a bait and switch.
Yeah, because JJ loves his misdirection.
Yeah.
He loves his misdirection. Actually, leading on to the theme of misdirection, I have a strong feeling that Finn is not a Jedi.
Exactly. I 100% agree
Yeah,
with that.
I have an extremely strong suspicion that he's not a Jedi.
That's true.
That he is the bait and switch, and that the real Jedi is Rey.
But
exactly.
he light up the saber.
Anybody
against
can
Kylo Ren.
push a button to turn on
Han
lightsaber.
Solo
Han did it in
did
Empire.
In Empire Strikes Back.
Strikes Back.
I did it just this weekend. Well, yeah, my lightsaber, so I'm not really a Jedi. That didn't come out very right, did it? Oops. Sanjiv has been known to make mistakes from time to time.
Yeah, but it's also it's not just how the narrative in the trailer itself is structured, but also from the poster.
That's right, exactly.
How we see Rey and Kylo Ren's lightsabers aligned perfectly, right?
Oh,
And
is that a
also-
lightsaber? It's supposed to be some kind of a force spike stick thing, right?
Well, no, I'm talking about Kylo Ren's lightsaber.
Ah, right.
What Rey is using for now, it just looks like a staff,
Right.
You know, like a like
Yeah,
a
anything
long
that
force
Bastila Shan would carry, in the Knights of the Old
Perhaps,
Republic.
yeah. But Bastila actually had
It was a light quarterstaff of
yeah.
sorts, yeah.
She basically had a light side version of Darth Maul's saber in
That's right.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
So the thing is that their staff and saber line up perfectly, and also Maz Kanata has actually has the first line in the trailer where she's
Yes.
clearly talking to Rey,
and it's
saying,
like,
"Who are you?"
And I'm no
Right,
one.
and no one. And then later on in the trailer, you hear Maz Kanata again saying that the Force is calling you.
Yes,
You know,
you
let
just
it
have
in.
to let it in.
You just have to let it in.
And they
so the
also
thing is,
converted Han Solo to be a believer. Because he initially didn't even believe in the Jedi and all that.
Okay,
That is
actually
true.
that is
Yeah.
very true.
that is true. Yeah.
Indeed.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
And then you see Rey shooting something in the jungle.
Yes. No, look, a blaster has its place.
It
A
does.
blaster does have its place,
Yes.
especially
For-
when you don't have a lightsaber.
And in an uncivilized age.
Yeah, exactly. Which is apparently the timeline that is, that's happening right
Exactly.
now.
That's right.
The thing is that it was quite chilling to see Han Solo's, when he was speaking about the situation that they're in, and how did the Sith? Well, the word Sith is not mentioned simply
Right.
because Han Solo himself never heard the word Sith. He only
Yeah.
knows the word dark side.
That's right.
The words dark side. So he goes the dark side, the Jedi,
The
they're all
Jedi,
real. So
yeah.
what must have happened
No, but
During
in that
If you-
intervening period for that
Indeed.
30-year period where between Darth Vader defeating the Emperor, Luke redeeming his father, and now we have the First Order. What happened for the Jedi themselves to become?
They all turn to legends.
Yeah, exactly.
No, wait, hold on. If you actually look closer, where
Okay.
there were a team of people who goes into something like a place,
Right.
And if you look closer, there's an emblem of scum, or we call it the bounty hunter.
Okay.
If you realize that it was there, and which means they acknowledge there were bounty hunters, and they are going to be bounty hunters as well. So are we going to have Boba Fett coming back?
I'm sure that we will have bounty hunters, and Boba Fett coming back. That's always been a rumor, and
The thing is that we have confirmation that he survived the Battle of Jakku. No, he survived the Sarlacc to fight in the Battle of Jakku.
right.
Because
Although
he
then there's
appears in
also
Battlefront, yeah.
that's right, he appears in Battlefront, but then there's also this other not just a theory, but I think the Battlefront producers came out and said that scene where Boba Fett is flying around, it's actually in Tatooine as well, and
Okay.
it's not in Jakku. But then you did see the Star Destroyer crashing in the background,
Yeah.
and so what was all that about? And so there's still a lot of uncertainties around that period, but I think it's safe to speculate that Boba Fett probably did survive the Sarlacc, because someone that cool couldn't just get eaten, right?
Actually, what was it? There's a YouTuber by the name of Jeremy Johns who uses the term "getting Boba Fetted" as a cool character dying in a really lame way.
Right.
Because before this, everyone thought Boba Fett had died in the Sarlacc
So
pit.
that means Captain Kirk was Boba Fett.
Yes.
That would make sense too, because Return of the Jedi came out before the Generations.
That is correct.
How about that?
Yeah.
William Shatner, you were Boba Fett.
Yeah. For all of you nerds,
And now I've just gotten the
for all of you
intern here and
non-nerds,
cut
this
the
is
rest
yeah.
all Trekkies. I mean Trekkers, whatever they're called.
Trekkies, yeah. But
That's
speaking
another
of the Star Destroyer that crashes in the one that we see on Jakku in
That's
the
right.
Force Awakens, right?
Spoiler alert!
This is a mini spoiler alert for those of you that have not read the books. There's actually a young adult novel called Lost Stars,
Right.
which details the story of a pair of lovers who find themselves on
both
opposing
sides of the war.
on opposing
Yes.
sides of the war, right? And end up crossing paths at all the big battles of the rebellion and the Empire, right? And the Star Destroyer that you see
On the cover, right?
Yes.
I'm assuming it's also the Star Destroyer on the cover.
The Star Destroyer on the cover, and the one that you see in Jakku in the very first trailer was actually commanded by a character in the Lost Stars, and she was the one that was responsible for it crash landing onto the planet of Jakku. How and why that happens, I will not reveal because
You
it's
need to
just a
read the
mini
book.
spoiler. But you just need to read the book. But once you read the book and you understand the context and the existence of why that Star Destroyer exists on the surface of Jakku, let's just say there's a lot of emotional impact.
Right.
Quite a lot of emotional impact. Yeah. So the thing is that we see at the beginning of the trailer when Rey is rappelling down into
the underbelly of the bowels of a
yeah.
destroyer.
It's either that Star Destroyer from Lost Stars,
Lost Stars.
or it is the remnants of the Super Star Destroyer, which I think you picked up on at the second teaser.
the second
trailer.
teaser.
Yes, there's the wreckage of a Super Star Destroyer on Jakku as well. That can only be the Ravager, which
Right.
is the last remaining Super Star Destroyer left in the Imperial fleet after the
After
Executor.
the Executor
is
is
destroyed.
executed.
Yes, yeah.
Sure.
So it's either one of these two Star Destroyers that you see in the very beginning of the trailer.
Right.
Sorry to get really very nerdy about this, but that's
It'd be so cool. It's actually like the Chimera ended up there and then it crashed and then they find Thrawn's remains. But yeah.
It would be really nice actually if maybe in episode 8, Rian Johnson, if you're watching, Thrawn?
Yeah, Thrawn.
Or an anthology film about Thrawn.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe
Benedict
it's like-
Cumberbatch.
Thrawn.
Except
yeah,
no
man.
substitute for
Exactly.
Admiral Thrawn.
He's the only
Sean
one.
is
and only.
acting like the old man right now who has no idea
No idea what you're talking about, but yeah,
yeah.
man, he has the face. He has a chisel face for being a
And
chiss
the voice.
and the voice.
Everything.
Right. But having said that, I mean, just a slight detraction there in terms of like what Harrison Ford or Han Solo has to say in the trailer as well. There were stories Rey asks, right?
Yeah.
And then Han is like, it's true, all of it.
Yeah.
And to me, again, being a huge EU fan or Legends fan, and having like Han Solo say that and have
Yeah.
those meanings, those layers as well. It just was like really, I can even feel my hair standing on end right now. Everything was real. Han just attested to it. But yeah.
Until we see like the full length and breadth of
Exactly.
the EU continuity in the intervening 30 years, Actually, you
Of
know,
which they're already
yeah.
borrowing many parts of.
Yeah, a lot of names.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of names. For example, Mon Mothma's homeworld
Right?
has been confirmed as
Chandrila, yeah.
for example,
Exactly.
and that is the birthplace of the New Republic.
That's right.
Right.
And Mon Mothma serves as the first head of state, which also happens before Leia does take over.
Yeah. So that's also an expanded universe incident. I
Right.
suppose incident, right?
Right.
And a whole bunch of other things, planet names. Dantooine was already in the continuity. Zetwin was mentioned as well. And well, we could be here all night just naming
Just
all the
naming
various
names,
EU
yeah,
references.
the 5,000 planets that
Yeah.
have been confirmed in the star systems in
Yeah.
that book, the Star Wars Atlas. But no, but this is the point. I mean, like to your point earlier, right? In terms of what could have happened in the intervening years, those 30 years,
Yeah.
that made all the history disappear. You would think, like a galaxy far away, but with that kind of technological
Yeah.
advancements, would have a Wikipedia page where anyone could go into the history and see what actually happened. But now
Yeah.
people are like, what really happened? And you need a character from the past saying, it's all true, whatever you heard. Which means history can be erased. And so could the legends that we've come up
Yeah.
to grow with be an alternate, of something that happens way in the future
Yeah.
and looking back at the events of the past. And, that would be really cool as well.
Well, just to add on to that about how the maxim is history is written by the victors, right?
Yes.
So the
exactly.
thing is that again, if you guys should read Lost Stars, the new Journey to the Force Awakens novel, right? Where they examined in there how they rewrote a lot of history. The Empire rewrote a lot of history after the execution of Order 66, and the Jedi were eradicated and all that, and how the Empire twisted it all around and said that the Clone Wars were actually started by the Jedi.
By the Jedi.
And actually it was the Jedi fighting with the Separatists.
Right. And this is
stuff like
also
that,
again,
yeah.
if we are mining the EU for references of the fact. I mean, this is what was used as the cover for the canon, the non-canon, and also the apocryphal evidence of, say, the length of the Superstar Destroyer.
Yeah.
Of where it started off at 8, but then it went up to 12, and then 12.8, 17.6, 19, and so on and so forth.
Now it's 19, right?
Now it's 19 officially, and so, but then the in-universe explanation of all that is, the Empire just made shit up because they didn't want the rebellion or anyone to know what the official sizes were.
Yeah.
And so they just made up numbers like that, so they wanted to keep everything a secret. That's why names of planets changed from Korriban to Moraban, because,
Yeah.
It's, so those references,
It's in-universe propaganda. so to
Exactly.
speak.
That's
Yeah.
right. Just like reality, I guess.
Speaking of reality, we're going to talk about a villain that we're definitely going to get.
Oh.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
And
Thoughts?
his Knights of Ren.
Knights of Ren. So what do you guys think of Kylo Ren? I mean, this is the first time, aside from those of you that have already got the action figure that can talk, those of us that saw the trailer finally managed to see for the very first time. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
Hi, Mrs.
And we've heard his voice for the first time, and he says some really cryptic stuff.
Oh, very
Which is,
much so.
Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started.
Yeah.
Discuss.
Well, was he there during Vader's time?
He probably was a kid. If you assume him to be in his, say, mid-30s, that means he would have been a young
5, 6 years
boy when Vader died.
But what is actually the significance of Kylo Ren to Vader?
Well, the thing is that
Well, his helmet kind of looks
No,
like...
besides the
right?
point, like you
Yeah.
say, the time frame it's about 30 years, right? From Vader to Kylo Ren, there must be certain things. If not, why would you be so attached to somebody like Vader if you have not known him?
well, okay. Do you want to?
Rafie? No, well, I mean, it's the same as why, like, in if you take a real world context, like, you have like the neo-Nazi movement of the present.
I was just
you
gonna
know,
use that example. Yeah.
I mean, Hitler stood for something and the Nazis stood for something, and the future, or even now, right, or in the past rather, people glorify what they stood for and what the Nazi party meant. And so then they glorify their idols and their heroes. And the modern day analogy of that is, those who wear the Hugo Boss SS black uniforms, to live up to an ideal.
Yeah.
And perhaps that's kind of the same as, what you see with the
It's-
First Order.
Yeah. It's hero worship. in the sense that you could okay, there was a movie, I forgot the name of what was it called, Apt Pupil.
Apt Pupil.
Apt Pupil,
Oh, yeah.
where there was this young boy who was neighbors with a German war criminal
Named Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah.
Or Magneto.
Ian McKellen.
Oh, Ian
yeah.
McKellen.
Yeah, Ian McKellen. So he had run away and tried to hide his past, and then the kid found out. The thing is that there's no real reason for that kid to befriend such a character, except that he was fascinated with Nazi ideals, the idea of the purity of race, blah blah blah, stuff like that, and so he fell in love with the ideal over and over and over again. But that's the thing; it's an ideal; it's not practical, know. And the thing is that when people arrive at that level of fanaticism, reason and logic go out the window. It doesn't matter that Vader has been dead for 30 years at this point. It doesn't matter that Vader's, from what I understand to be Vader's mission, which is basically a continuation of Order 66,
Right.
the eradication of the
wipe out the
Jedi or light side Force users. You can sort of see how that can be implanted into, Kylo
Another
Ren's
group,
mind.
or
Another, the
another
Knights of
order,
Ren.
The Knights of Ren.
The Knights of Ren, who believe that, why would we want the Jedi or the light side? Because the light side brought the galaxy to ruin with the collapse of the Republic. Right? And so we prefer strength. We prefer, not to say the Sith way, but like the dark side way.
The totalitarianism, the authoritarianism as well.
And you read up and you fall in love with the ideal even more. At which point, logic and reason don't matter.
Could another thing, hypothetically, I'm just talking about it because remember the first teaser?
Right?
Yeah.
It says, "My father has it."
Yep.
Now
That's the second one.
That's the second.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Second? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Second
second.
one.
Yeah. This, yeah.
So
Luke's voiceover.
the fact that it's Luke's voice. Now, having said so, Luke and Leia shares the same father,
Right.
Yeah.
right? And could Kylo Ren be actually related to either of them?
In certain ways, yeah. Well, I mean, if we were to again look at the EU and mining the EU, if they had any inspiration, I mean, the Kylo Ren character is almost like what Jason Solo, which is Han and Leia's son, turns out to be, where he falls to the dark side and starts his own second empire-like thing, which is what he converts the New Republic to.
He becomes Darth Caedus.
He becomes Darth Caedus, right? Of all of which we know is not going to happen because the Sith, as has been confirmed by Abrams, are not going to be.
No, they are not the same. That's why it's
that's right.
another thing.
But hence,
But that's the analog, like the similarity
That's right, the
in
similarities.
the expanded universe would be Jason Solo and the Jaina Solo, his twin sister, right? The daughter of Han and Leia. The analog is Rey.
That's right.
Now there is a reason why we don't know Rey's last name. Okay, but the speculation is that, and the easy guess would be that she is Han and Leia's daughter.
Right.
And the thing is that, for all you know, Kylo Ren and Rey were split up at birth.
Yep.
Because there's so many questions about why does the First Order exist? Why does the Resistance
that means
exist?
that's the same thing that happened to Leia and Luke.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Right, and that's I mean, not to venture into spoiler territory right now, right? But in two things you want to talk about in terms of spoilers. Now, during the filming of Episode 7, when that was happening, I think it was a site like makingstarwars.net. That had people on set and taking spy shots and photography.
Yeah.
And apparently, the name for Daisy Ridley's character at that period, which they managed to see, was Kira. Kira, and they do not know whether this Kira name is a pseudonym or was it that actual name that was revealed, and so there's a lot of speculation on that as well, whether Rey could actually be a Kira, and if she's a Kira, that sounds a lot like Jaina. Could it be Kira Solo? And if it's Kira, is it like Kylo, and could Kylo be Solo? So it's Kylo and Kira Solo, and then you have the Knights of Ren, of which Kylo joins and becomes Kylo Ren. So these are all speculation, nothing is confirmed. But again, if you're going to mine the EU for inspiration, that is one track you could have gone. And to the point of how the stark similarities to A New Hope, or the story that we've seen before. Two things come there. One of them is history always repeats itself. Right? And the other, as we know what JJ is trying to do, is trying to push the nostalgia element to all of us to come and see it out. look, there's a
He's succeeding quite
Yeah.
well on that front. but
Star Killer base that looks like a Death Star and
Yeah.
it literally kills stars. Sun Crusher, anyone?
yeah, Sun
right?
Crusher.
And then you have like a trench thingy that looks like it's going to be a trench run sequence.
Yeah.
The place that supposedly is like where Mars Kanata is, I guess, that jungle
Yeah.
planet, which I think we're going to get to as well. What could that,
Yeah.
structure be? You see, so I mean, like, they're trying to make a lot of linkage. And so, again, now coming into the rumor territory, not so much rumors, but mini spoiler territory is that those people who have seen cuts of the film and all that, if there's any complaint about the film, it's that to a lot of people it might be like a rehash of what has happened before, in the sense that, oh look, you have X-Wings and TIE fighters, that's the only new ships that you see after 30 years.
Yeah.
The Falcon again,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And so
A Star Destroyer in orbit.
Star
yeah,
Destroyer,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
That's right.
But then again, it's kind of what people want.
That's right.
That's the thing, though.
That's
I mean,
exactly it.
I think it's like I don't think there's anything wrong with reusing a trope as long as it's done well.
Exactly.
Cliches exist for a reason, is because they're kind of true, in
Right.
a way,
That's right.
And but the key is how you implement the cliche, how you implement the trope into the story. I mean,
That's
we will be seeing a return of the hero's journey. We definitely will be seeing.
We're already seeing it, right?
Yeah, we're already seeing
Or at
it.
least
You know,
two or
a
three
return.
heroes in this sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to be seeing, there's going to be some shadowy unseen evil, because the thing is that when Kylo Ren says our way,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like it's just talking about Darth Vader's mission. There has to be someone else
That
behind
is,
it. That's what I think. I think there's another power here at play that we haven't seen yet.
Right, and
Yeah.
of whom, is probably Andy Serkis, I would think, right?
Yeah,
That's,
what's his name? Supreme Leader Snoke.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Supreme Leader Snoke.
I mean, he's the one that in the very first teaser trailer goes, there has been an awakening, and we
the
felt
dark side
it.
of the light.
And we have not heard anything from Andy Serkis' character since.
That's right.
And it was just that brief bit of dialogue, and that's it. That's
Mm-hmm.
all we haven't heard.
Yeah.
Well, JJ, you've done
Don't
all
call
the-
him Jar Jar.
Yeah, already not yet. You need to watch
the
the film.
movie's not out yet.
Although people are beginning to say, there's a lack of lens flares, which I think is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
But then the other sequence that's getting a lot of buzz in terms of, which is a typical JJ-ism or even a Star Trek-ism,
Yeah.
is that sequence where the Falcon jumps into hyperspace.
Yeah.
But I mean, how cool was that, though? I mean, like, the
Yeah,
stars
it's
all line up.
a
and
different way of seeing hyperspace.
yeah, they all like tunnel up and then you see the Falcon.
I saw somebody
Brilliant.
comment
on our
in the thread. It's like,
Yeah.
it looks like Star Trek. To which my response was, no, JJ made Star Trek look like
Look
Star
like
Wars.
Star Wars, exactly, yeah.
That's what actually happened.
That's right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, and the other one was just like, I think Poe's suit, or I think it was Finn's,
Jacket.
jumper jacket and all that. It looks like a Star Trek officer's.
Like, no,
No,
he
it
made
doesn't.
Star Trek look like Star Wars.
Right.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Not gonna complain. Any Trekkies out there?
Exactly.
That's all I
and
can
also,
say.
if you was just to think about it as well, okay, you have a stormtrooper that looks to have crash landed on a planet. No spoilers, this is in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and he probably wants to get rid of the armor because it's heavy and
Yeah.
white stands out in the sand. So what do you see under the white armor is actually a black jumpsuit, right? And
Yeah.
that's the black suit that he's wearing.
Yeah.
He'd probably borrow a jacket because if not, it's just going to be really weird. Just
Hello,
to be
X First Order / Imperial coming through. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think it's going to look like?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Anyways,
And then some other
nitpicking
stuff.
fans.
Some
nitpicking
other
fans.
stuff. Some other interesting stuff that we can note also is that there weren't any space battles. No
Very
space battles.
true,
No space
very
battles.
true.
This is gonna upset him. You know that.
For Star Wars,
Yeah.
there's a lot of land wars.
Yeah.
What would I
Air
say?
Because
Wars.
remember when we discussed the last teaser trailer, you were complaining, it's Star Wars. Where are the stars? There's no. Yeah. See, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a TIE fighter that exploded
In
hit
space.
by something in
Yeah,
space.
in
But he
space.
has to fly down to a planet.
No, it crash lands onto a
Yeah.
planet.
But
The
that
thing-
doesn't make sense too. Because
It's-
when you are in space,
Yeah.
eventually you don't get sucked into a planet if let's say you're not near the orbit itself.
Yeah, but it was very close to the planet.
And if you have actually
Yeah.
relative velocity that's moving at that speed,
Yeah.
and you
You'll
have a
burn.
gravitational attraction.
Yeah, but then again, we're talking about Star Wars here, where
Yeah.
the rules of physics don't really apply.
Exactly, you have lightsabers and
Yeah.
Jedi using Force and things like that.
The thing is that we were talking about the various worlds that they're going to visit. at rough count, it looks like 4.
Yeah.
Minimum of 4. Again, these are not spoilers because it's in the trailer.
You have Jakku, the desert planet.
We have Jakku, the desert planet. We have
the Starkiller base.
the Starkiller base
which
/ ice planet.
Right.
Whatever
that is.
name is going to be.
Yeah.
We have a forested world of some kind with lots of bodies of water. Okay. Now the thing is that planets 3 and 4 on this list, they could be the same planet or they could be different.
Right.
Okay. So with planet 3, where we have that epic First Order and Resistance battle with the
The
T-70 X-wing.
the X-wing skimming on the water.
over the water, and then there's a huge aerial battle.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, but that sequence though in the trailer, you know, like the stormtroopers are lined up, and then you
And
just
then
see
you
like
see
the
the-
mist of the
see all the
X-wing.
X-wings,
Oh
like,
man, the
wow,
chills.
that was
it's
amazing.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And then also the planet where
It seems as a resistance base.
and also where Han, Finn, and Rey go to with with BB-8.
Oh yeah.
The thing is that my speculation was that might be Yavin 4 simply because of the fact that the temple architecture looks very similar to the throne room from A New Hope with the very broad base
like
triangle.
the Masasi temples.
Yes, the Masasi temples.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one I was
right?
talking to you about the bounty hunter thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is that when I saw the flags, what I thought of was the Declaration of the New Republic. Okay,
Right.
and also the birthplace of the rebellion, so to speak.
No,
right?
look
Yeah.
closer between the flags. There
Yeah.
is a scum emblem.
I'm not surprised. It would
no,
be
no,
there
that's
because
there. There's a
it's-
mythosaur as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because it's like Mas Kanata. I mean, those are the pirates and the scoundrels that I'm assuming Han, the scoundrel, goes to meet.
Yeah.
To have some info.
Yeah.
So.
And so at rough count there should be at the minimum of 4 planets. Whether it actually is Yavin 4 or not, no idea.
Right.
But at the very least, we're getting 3 distinct locations where everything's going to unfold.
That's right.
Right.
Of which, to me, I mean, speaking about things unfolding, one of the things I think that had the most feels in this trailer, more so than the Knights of Ren, which is new. I mean, that's the one that I posted on my Facebook as well. I mean, seeing Han and Leia after God knows how many years they might have been apart, even in universe, but just knowing it was like Harrison and Harry Fisher getting back together as well. So
That was almost like another nostalgia cheap shot.
Oh, that definitely so, but it worked. It worked.
So
70-year-old grandparents hugging. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, right?
It is true that Han and Leia was together then.
Possibly.
Or like old lovers reuniting. We don't know what happened in the intervening 30 years.
But
there
now
is-
the question though then becomes was that meeting for the first time or their last goodbye?
yeah.
Was
Because
that-
actually, just before we cut to Han and Leia hugging,
you
we
have
see Rey
crying
her
over
eyes out
something.
over what seems to be
body.
a body, but we don't know who or what it is. Speculation.
Hello, buddy.
I'm thinking it's either Han or Chewie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Chewie, you see the fur.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's in silhouette, so you can't really see. You can slow it down
Right.
and go frame by frame, but you can't really make out whether it's fur or it's
And
hair.
it was done on purpose for that because they
Yeah.
want us now to actually speculate whether it was Chewie or Han.
But coming back to
or
where
someone
Han,
else.
Han said, Chewie, we are home, it could have meant that they have come back to their home where probably Han and Leia lived their life.
Or it could be the Millennium Falcon.
I'm pretty sure it's the Millennium Falcon, actually.
They came down from the Millennium Falcon.
No, they went
were
into the Millennium
Falcon.
Oh.
Yeah.
So which then kind of leads to a speculation that means it belonged to someone else.
Or
and-
he had been lost at some point.
Yeah.
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 Really need to finish those Journey
Right.
to the Force
But,
Awakens
but,
novels.
but at the end of the day, I mean, and that was the double speak because in the movie it could be Han and Chewie getting back to the Falcon for the first time, and Chewie, we are home.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to us, why fans the world over started crying their balls out was bawling their eyes out rather, were crying the balls out, right? Yeah. I am on a roll today. Lightsabers, balls, but
And
coming back to
butts.
that.
Okay.
And butts, exactly. Crying their eyes out, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the fact that the Chewie We Are Home was actually a hint, wink, wink to us as well, which is Harrison Ford and Peter Mayhew or Han and
back
Chewie
as
were
part
back
of-
as part of Star Wars.
I think it's probably going. It's between Han and Chewbacca about who's the one that's actually kicked the bucket.
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be Peter Mayhew's Chewbacca simply because Well, there are practical
He's getting
reasons. There are practical reasons.
in
Peter
age
Mayhew himself
Yeah.
can barely walk like 10 feet without having to sit down again.
Right.
Right? And his motor functions are not as what they once were.
That's true.
They're degenerating quite badly, actually.
Right. And
I
also,
think
it's a testament to his height as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
That's all that comes
you
with
know,
it.
because we saw during Star Wars Celebration where he had difficulty just getting up and just
Right.
even speaking in sentences and all that. So the thing is that maybe it's just a way of easing Chewie out of the universe.
True. Yeah.
But that's from a practical standpoint.
Right. And
But
of course, then we need to mention, like Kenny Baker is apparently not
Yes.
credited in the cast too.
No,
so
he's not, yeah.
Looks like he's been phased out for.
But just keep going. Internal temperature too high. Okay. Just record. Just try.
Right. Because we still have this, right?
Yeah, we still have this, so yeah, we
Yeah.
can just keep on going. So yeah,
Okay.
and yeah.
Right.
Don't
so,
worry, we'll edit all this out.
Obviously. Yeah. No. So coming back to
Kenny Baker. Yeah.
this, So where Kenny Baker is also, not given a screen credit because it's probably he's not going to be playing the character inside. It's going to be the R2 builders that make the R2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be either remote controlled or CGI.
No, the thing is, Kenny Baker is not inside of R2.
He's
Now,
not. That's like
He's
Yeah.
actually using the one that was actually done by
the R2 builders.
Yes.
Yeah, and Sphero
Neil
BB-8.
Scanlon, was it?
Yeah, I think
Neil
it was
Scanlon.
Neil Scanlon.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, so it could be that. But now this is the very interesting thing. If it actually was Chewie that meets his maker,
Yeah.
then that's kind of like what happens in Vector Prime.
Yes.
Jedi Order,
which is the new
where-
Jedi Order where Chewie dies.
Right?
But well, I don't know. Actually, I cannot think of a death more epic than Chewbacca's in Vector Prime.
Oh, definitely so.
Yeah, because
We have a
for those of
moon
you,
following-
okay, this can't be really considered
This
a
is spoiler.
spoiler.
No, this was like 1990.
No, 2004.
Vector
This is
Prime?
when the book. No, 2003. Sorry.
No, it's 98. Vector Prime came out a long time.
Oh.
Unifying Force finished in 2003.
Yes.
So it should be 98.
Yes, 98.
Yeah.
So the thing is that in this series of books where there is an extragalactic alien race that comes and invades the Star Wars galaxy, called the Yuuzhan Vong, Chewie sacrifices himself to save Anakin Solo, which
That's right.
is the third son of Han and Leia. And by throwing him on board the Millennium Falcon while a planet is falling to pieces because the Yuuzhan Vong had used gravity to bring the moon down crashing onto the planet. And the endearing image that I have in my mind from that book is Han flying away in the Falcon, Chewie just turning around and screaming his lungs out at the moon as it comes and crashes.
And-
so it took an entire moon to kill Chewbacca.
Right.
in
And also, and the way that,
expanded
and
universe.
the way that R.A. Salvatore wrote that as well, which was like, he gave one last roar of defiance. I remember
Yeah,
that was the name
yeah.
of the chapter as well.
Mhm.
And so the moon was like, tearing the planet apart,
Yeah.
but it was also tearing a hole in Han's heart, something to that effect.
Yes.
And so that was very emotional.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. Of course, it happened.
Yeah, they're all true.
They're all true.
You know.
All true.
Okay, guys, we could go on all night. But I think we need to stop somewhere.
Yeah.
We need to thank Razer, by the way.
Oh yeah, thank you again, Razer, for providing us with audio equipment for us to do our podcast.
Yeah.
And that's why it sounds so good. Yeah.
Indeed.
Also, some of my editing skills are involved, but it's mostly Razer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you say so, sir.
No, of course. But okay, I'm gonna go around the table. Well, it's only the three of us, so start with Sean. What was your favorite moment from the new trailer?
Yeah, I think it's the run with Rey and BB-8. It was awesome.
The
When they were running
run?
away.
Running away from the explosion.
Okay.
Wasn't
With Finn.
Finn there too?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the bit where Rey and BB-8 are just rolling away from the Star Destroyer? I think at the very beginning of the
Yeah, that was the very, very beginning.
Okay, basically just Rey and BB-8. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Sanjiv?
There were so many sequences, but I think the one that stood out for me the most, of course, the one that gave me the most feels was, the Han and Leia moment. And then the other were just all those space, well, not space, but land air battles, which were really,
Aerial
really
battles.
cool.
Yeah.
Aerial
The
battles.
dogfights and
That's right.
everything.
Because that is how I grew up watching Star Wars, it was always about X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
And that's basically what this trailer gives. So
The reason why I say Rey and BB-8 is because even if you look into Luke and R2-D2,
Yeah.
they have that as well. Or even C-3PO and R2-D2, they walk on the set.
and Mas Kanata's final lines as well. The whole
The Force is calling you.
Yeah, it's calling you. Just
Let it
let it.
in. Let it in. Okay.
Yours?
I figured I would have had a favorite by now once you guys mentioned yours, but I'm struggling here.
Mm.
But I probably have to. I
Oh
probably
my-
have to go with
It's
the
bad. It's bad. Okay.
our first proper introduction to Kylo Ren.
Mm. Yeah.
With the voice, the obvious Vader worship.
And there's some redness going
And
on.
the redness going on,
What is that? Is that the
you know.
base firing? What was going on there?
Yeah, I mean, I actually think that Starkiller gets used in the movie at some point because we have that shot of
Of
a
a
forest
planet,
being completely decimated,
Decimated.
right? With a red laser versus the Death Star's green laser,
Yeah.
right? So I'm thinking the Starkiller is used at least once,
Right.
prompting the resistance to like, okay, we gotta
Resist more.
resist more. Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, yeah, that was probably my favorite. Like Kylo Ren, just like anything to do with Kylo Ren, and also that bit at the end where Finn realizes that he has no idea what
chance
he's doing.
in heaven and hell. and
He has no idea
other
what he's
planets.
doing. He's just holding this light stick, right?
Yeah.
And there's a guy in front of him who clearly knows what he's doing,
Right.
and just the look on his face, Oh,
Right.
and a quick nod to Game of Thrones fans. In silhouette, Adam Driver without the helmet on, just wearing the black and the lightsaber, he looks like Jon Snow.
To a degree. And speaking of Game of Thrones characters, Gwendolyn Christie, she's in the trailer, she's all over the place, but no
She's
screen
not
credit.
credited. Yeah.
Well, that
Maybe
usually happens to the coolest characters. Jeremy Bulloch wasn't credited.
No.
He's
That's
part of
that's
that.
why. Again, my speculation is that she's probably going to get an expanded role in the future movies where
Perhaps.
she'll finally be credited.
Right.
Or
they just ran out of space. The bottom section
is so
is
full.
Oh.
Yeah, my god.
Yeah.
Oh, and one last nod as well. What did you guys think of the rearranged and reworked music?
I do not know where to start. I mean, yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
It has like elements of like electronica within it, but it's not quite because it's still William Z. It was just brilliant. Yeah.
What did you think? Or did you not notice the new music?
I did.
Or what did you think of it?
I don't know, I'm gonna get used to it, I guess.
Were there elements of electronic in there?
I
Or
think
it was just
it's
made to sound as such, right?
There's an effect in electronic music or reverb where you
Okay.
hear a sound and it sounds like a, like a repeat or like sort of echoey kind of thing.
Right.
There was that in the piano in the beginning,
Yep.
right, where it's just a single note, but then it just
Yeah,
holds,
this holds,
on
yep.
and on and on and on. And then
Very Giacchino-esque, by the way. But yeah.
actually, I would think it's more Zimmer.
Zimmer-esque too, man.
Yeah, because like I was thinking of the piano notes, and I was thinking of Interstellar.
right.
Interstellar's organs, and it's like how the notes just go on and on and on and on.
Right.
And then also the reworked Han and Leia theme,
That was fantastic, yeah. Yeah.
and but then like interspersed with new imagery rather than of Han of Leia running away from Han, trying to get to the Falcon and escaping Empire, right? It's this, it's the Falcon as well. It's the same sort of imagery, but in a different context, in a different space.
No asteroid field, but and vehicle shipyard graveyard.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Yep. And then of course the Force theme as well. I mean, just when you thought you couldn't reiterate the Force theme in any way, here comes John Williams and gives us another version.
Give it
It's
a new
just-
drum beat.
Yeah.
Very interesting percussion and bass beat to it. I was like, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
My non-Star Wars loving girlfriend,
Right.
actually made mention of the music and said, "Oh, it sounds so much better now." I was like, "Well, yeah, it's not 1970s music anymore."
That's right. Yeah. Not that 1970s music was bad.
Yeah,
but,
she's behind the camera right now, so I love you, sweetie.
Right, so it was a reworked Han and Leia's theme, a reworked Force theme, and also
Yes.
a reworked main theme because it was
Yes.
dun 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 dun.
Yes.
Dun.
It's slightly different timing, and just there a slightly different timbre to the notes.
Right.
And wow.
And that was very much like what again mind me using Giacchino again in terms of Jurassic World and how he reworked Williams' themes into
Yeah.
Jurassic World. It's kind of
Is Giacchino ghost composing?
at the end when John Walter Williams meets his maker.
Mhm.
I'm very certain, almost 100% certain, that it will be Michael Giacchino that will
Take
replace
on the
him
baton.
as the composer. Kevin Kleiner comes close too, but Michael Giacchino has the history as well. The Star Tours music,
Okay.
Giacchino. So,
Oh.
there you go.
Well, didn't Kevin Kleiner also do Knights of the Old Republic?
I believe he did, yes.
Yeah.
And Rebels and
Yeah.
Clone Wars.
Because the thing is that, judging by the number of people that commented on my Facebook status when I said this, is that I'm getting a very big Knights of the Old Republic feel from The Force Awakens, which to me is a good thing because, again, as I mentioned, it's probably the best Star Wars game ever.
And the most successful game ever anyway in 2003. I mean, it's
Yep.
known as the best Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is that the feel is there because it's tropes that we recognize, the hero's journey, the relentless force of evil known as in the Empire or whatever you want to call them, some
Right.
variation of the word Empire.
Yep.
Right. The Jedi / light side on the other side, and just a few people caught in the middle trying to find their way through. These are tropes we recognize.
Tales as old as time.
Tales as old as time, but it's in new context.
Yeah.
Like what Mark Hamill says in the behind the scenes reel.
Right. Nothing has changed, but everything has changed.
Yeah, nothing has changed really. Well, everything's changed, but nothing's changed. And that's the feel that we're getting. And I think that's a very positive note for us to end our podcast on.
Agreed.
Right? Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for listening and watching three, nerds nerd out over the new Star Wars: The Force Awakens trailer. I'm Rafie. This is Sanjiv.
Hello there.
And this is Sean.
May the force be with you.
And he's taken my line away from me. Good night, and may the Force be with you.